Hello my friends, William Poloniak here from Whole Health Foundation. In this video I'm going to be displaying a complete overhaul of this 235 model juicer that was sent to me from Hawaii. The first step is going to be to remove the metal. Now the first thing you'll need to do is remove the guide post at the bottom, and I've already loosened everything and taken the screws out to make this go faster. So we'll go ahead and remove the sheet metal. The next step in this Model 235 improvement is to replace the wiring with this wiring harness improvement. This makes it easier to remove the sheet metal, and also we've cut a keyhole in the back so that the power cord can be removed once we take off the switch. Alright, the next step is going to be to replace the hydraulic fluid, and you remove the 6 bolts, which I've already loosened, and then you take the top out, just wiggle it, and it looks like this piston is stuck, so we're going to have the machine shop adjust it. So we'll take that out, and it looks like, remove the fluid, you use a turkey baster, and oh my goodness, look how dirty that fluid is. Oh my, it's like sludge. So we'll remove all this fluid. Okay, the next step is to use a dental pick to take out the O-ring in here. And the next step is to purge the pump. And what you do is you turn the juicer on for 2 or 3 seconds. Now I'm going to purge the pump one more time. I just want to display how dirty that fluid is. We'll just throw this in the trash. Now I've stuffed a paper towel in there, and I'm going to turn it on for a couple of seconds. It was a very, very wise decision for the owner of this juicer to have it rebuilt. Most 235 owners do not do this. Okay. Before I take the piston to the machine shop, which is mushroomed at the top, we have to actually do some machine work on that piston. I want to display the old fluid and what I'm going to put in. So this is from Napa, hydraulic jack fluid. Okay, every so often the piston on one of these old Model 235s gets mushroomed, and we have to bring it to the machine shop so that we can take it out of the cylinder and service the O-rings. Alright, we finished machining the top of the piston that's mushroomed. I just want to show you the crud that's in the old oil. But the spring also is no good. Can you lift that out of there, Wayne, the spring? We've already taken the spring out, and you can see that the spring is shoved. So we're going to put a new spring in as well. The next thing we're going to do is work on the motor. First, the front motor shaft seal. And the first thing we do is we remove the drive belts, and then loosen all of the 4 motor bolts in the back. I've already got most of those loosened, and now come in front. You'll see the debris from years of service here, and the old seal, we'll have to take that off. Totally rusted out. We'll have to replace that. Now, to service the motor bearings, we need to first take off the pulley at the back, and I have a special tool that my machine shop made to pry off the pulley, which we'll set aside. And the next thing I need to do with a hammer is tap out the armature. Now come around to this side, and I want to point out that on the motor I've made 2 marks, here and here, so that everything gets lined up properly. I'm going to take the armature out, and we're going to be replacing these bearings. You can see they're not sealed, and the grease is gone in half the bearing. This is the rear bearing, and we're going to do the same thing in front. The next thing I'm going to do is replace the motor bearings, and I'm working on the front bearing here. I've already got the bearing puller positioned, and we'll start taking that bearing off. And I'm going to replace this old obsolete bearing with a brand new bearing. Now, the best bearings in the world are Japanese, Korean, or Polish. These are Korean bearings. Brand new sealed bearings. Now there's a stop here that's going to let us know how far back to put this bearing on. And I have a special tool here made by my machine shop. And let's just move that over. Now you probably heard the sound there that indicates that we are down to this. Let's give it one last tap. Now, I want to point something out very, very important. On the back there are two spacer washers. If they're in the motor, they need to be replaced because every motor is different. In the front plate there are 3 spacer washers, and they need to go back in. So next I'm going to work on the back bearing. First I'll remove the spacer washers. Now I'm going to remove the rear bearing. Okay, now there's that little washer that tells us how far back to go. The old bearings are going to go to the owner of the juicer to show what we've taken off. And we're going to put on another brand new bearing made in Korea, the best bearings in the world. Special tool made by my machine shop. And there you have it, my friends. And remember, we have the spacer washer, which must go on the back bearing before it goes back in the motor. Now let's put this back in. And the front plate goes on. Looking for my mark. There it is. Put my spacer washers in. And there we have it, friends. I hope you like what you see. Now here's a helpful tip. With the motor plate still on and with a clamp to hold it so that it doesn't come apart, you can clean the motor shaft with a piece of sandpaper. And then 600 grit sandpaper. Here we have a brief view of the corrosion that gets under the stainless steel plate on the escutcheon plate, and we're going to clean this up and glue it back down. We're just using a chisel here to get all this corrosion off. And we'll do the same for the plate. I hope you found this video informative, and if you did, please tell a friend. If you'd like to contact me, my phone number is 760-753-0321. And my website is www.wholehealthfound.com. Remember, at Whole Health Foundation, we sell, buy, repair, refurbish, and improve all Norwalk juicer models. If you're interested in one of my improved models, please give me a call. And remember, tell a friend, and I'll see you in the next video.